YouTube, it's Missy. Long time no see. Sorry about that. It's been 2 weeks since I posted a weekly wrap-up, and I have been reading just very slowly. And when I wanted to film my wrap-up, I got too busy and then I never got to do it. So, before I get to the wrap-ups, let me tell you where I've been. All of week 18 I was home and I was going to film a wrap-up, and then I got sidetracked. And then week 19, last Wednesday, I got in a pretty gnarly car accident. Apparently I ran a red light, which I'm 95% sure I didn't, but everybody says I did, and I've never ran a red light before in my life. I'm usually super paranoid when I drive, and it scared the bejesus out of me. All my side airbags went off. I have a huge seatbelt bruise. I had slight whiplash, and my car's totaled. And so it's, thank God, you know, we were all going just 40 miles an hour, but I mean, it would have been awful if it was a faster car accident. And so because of the car accident, I have been like super like stressed out and in pain, but just scared, even though I'm not even in a car anymore. Just replaying the accident, it makes me like fearful to drive again. And this is like my first accident that, you know, I was personally in by myself, and as a driver, that's just absolutely terrifying. And anyways, so I've been sort of reading, you know, I do that chapter in the shower, but that's as far as reading goes. Like, I haven't actually sat down and read anything. And so I've been actually watching, finally, the Supernatural. I'm on, I think, episode 9 of season 1. I've never watched it before, and I am enjoying Dean and Sam. And also the Hillywood show on YouTube put up their Supernatural parody, and that's what got me motivated to actually watch the TV show, because they have the entire cast at the end of their parody, which is really cool. And then I really wanted to watch it because I like paranormal stuff, and the show is really good, and I'm enjoying it so far. And if you like Supernatural, let me know down below. And but no spoilers, because I'm only, like I said, in season 1. I know there's 9 seasons, and they're all on Netflix, and so I'm going to do like couple chapters and then watch a show, and then a couple chapters hopefully, or I'll just watch all of Supernatural and not read anything. That could be something that I do. Alright, let's get down to business. In week 18, the first book that I finished was Sanctum by Sarah Fine, and in this book, I can't remember the name of the main character because I listened to it on audio. I think it's Layla, but I could be wrong. Anyways, she is a teenage girl. She's a senior, and well, when we meet her, she's junior, but whatever. So she's a senior, going to be a senior now, and she has a best friend, Nadia, who they're inseparable, but Nadia has a secret, and she's been depressed for a really long time, and Leela doesn't know about this. And so something major happens like 2 chapters into the book, and Leela has to decide what she's going to do about it. And then we, you know, move forward, and we're in a new setting in the book, but I don't want to give anything away. You guys may already know what this book's about. It's about demons and angels, but I don't want to talk about where Leela is towards the rest of the book, because that's something you might want to read about yourself. But she's in a new setting, and it's really scary, and there's a lot of things that are going on, and she needs to help her friend Nadia, and in order to do that, she has to help herself. And so it's got a lot of paranormal aspects, and I loved it. I loved the the characters. I loved the slow, well, okay. I don't know if talking about relationships within books is a spoiler or not. Let me know down below if it is. I always like to know if there's going to be a love triangle in the book that I'm reading, because most of the time I hate love triangles, and I don't, even though I hate it, that doesn't deter me to actually not read the book. I end up reading the books anyway, but I like to know the characters, and like, you know, if it's a really good love story, I like knowing ahead of time before I invest myself into the book. But anyways, the love story in this one is, I want to say it's slow going. Like, there is a, like, respect at the beginning, you know, and then feelings start happening, and then the love comes out later on. So it wasn't like love at first sight, which I'm always at first sight books, and so this one definitely wasn't like that. And I also love the fact that the main character kept saying, you know, I'm here to help my friend, and I can't get sidetracked, but he is really cute. So, like, she's aware of the situation. Like, she's not just going into it and then saying, oh, you know, F my friend, this boy is so hot, I want to be with him. Like, it's not like that, which I really appreciated. And like I said before, I have all 3 of these books on audio, so I can't wait to get to Fractured. I believe that's the sequel, and then Chaos is the 3rd in the trilogy. And these books on audio are so good that I am pretty sure I'm going to buy these books in physical form, because they are just so good. So yeah, that was Sanctum. And I don't want to get any more into it because I don't want to give anything away. The next book that I read in week 18 was 6 Feet Over It by Jennifer Longo. And I gave this book 4 stars. I really liked it. It was a dark contemporary about, like, depression and how someone goes about it, especially a young girl. She's 14 when we first meet Lee, the main character of the book, and how she deals with her depression and, like, her ups and downs, and like, just how she gets out of it. So at the beginning, Lee, we find out that Lee's sister, Kai, has cancer. She's got, like, leukemia, I believe. And so Lee's really depressed about that, because she feels like she needs to be there for her sister at all times, just in case her sister dies. So she doesn't want to make any friends, and when she does make friends, she feels guilty about it because she wants to spend all of her time with her sister, but she's kind of resenting her a little because of the whole situation. And then her parents are doting on the sister, obviously, because she's got cancer, and so she feels a little left out. And then all of a sudden, so she's got that to deal with, her sister and her cancer. And then she has to move from the place that she's known her entire life. It's in Northern California. It's on the coast. She's such a beach baby. She's just, like I said, she's been there her entire life. And then all of a sudden her dad ups and moves the family inland to a cemetery, which he has bought as a kind of good investment. And so Lee is really resentful and hates her father because of this move. But he wants to get, you know, the sister better, and he feels like this will be good for her, a fresh start or whatever. And so now Lee has to deal with that. She has to deal with the fact that she misses her best friend. She, you know, doesn't live with the best friend anymore. And then she has to deal with the resentment of the parents, you know, constantly ignoring her. Her mom is kind of, and this is what I was upset about in the book. I gave it 4 stars because I didn't like the dynamic between the mom and the dad, and then the mom and the kids. The mom was pretty much absent the entire book, and it was super selfish of her. She goes back to the hometown all the time and, like, hangs out with her artsy friends, and just leaves the kids and the husband at the cemetery. And she does this quite often, and so it's kind of like, you know, if you're going to do something with your family, or if, you know, you guys all have to be on the same page. If your husband says, let's get up and move, you may not like the situation, but you have to be involved and kind of go with it as a, you know, I got my husband's back kind of thing. And she doesn't do that. She just continuously goes off and hangs out with her friends like she's single or something, and that drove me crazy. But other than that, the story is about Lee, and so she does live at the graveyard. Dad doesn't really want to be involved with the whole graveyard aspect. He's super creeped out, and he doesn't want to deal with criers or mourners, and so basically he just pushes the job aspect of the graveyard onto his 14-year-old daughter. He makes her work in the office, and so she has to be the ones that answers all the phones, that, you know, deals with the people that come in and say, I need to pick out a graveyard or a plot for, you know, the future or for the present. Like, a lot of people will come in and say, I need a graveyard now, and they're crying and they're having a hard time picking a like a headstone or what plot they want, and she has to deal with all of this on top of the fact that she's super depressed. And so it's like a double whammy for her, and pretty soon it goes from her having to work only a couple times a day to pretty much every single day, every weekend in the summertime. And because of that, she just closes herself off even more. And there's a couple people that she meets while she's in this new town, and they're really rooting for her. They're trying to be the ones that she can rely on, and they continuously try to coax her out of her shell and make her feel good. And that was really nice part of it. But again, she's just so against herself and everybody around her that she doesn't quite come out of it until the end. 4 stars. I mean, overall, it was really good. And I also like the fact that the friend that she has in here is a Spanish speaker. He's from like South America, and so there's a lot of dialogue in here that's in Spanish, which is just nice because I try to read the Spanish, you know. I took 6 years of Spanish and I never actually absorbed anything, and so I try to read it and go, oh yeah, I kind of know what he's talking about, but not really. And so I liked having the, you know, an extra dimension to the book with, you know, a different culture and language speaker. So that was nice. And then lastly, for week 19, I finished Sweet Peril, which is the sequel to Sweet Evil, and this one is by Wendy Higgins. I love this this series. I love it. I absolutely love it. The whole aspect of the different sins that you can have, and because this is a sequel, I'm not going to get into anything, but there's sins, and the kids of the sinners have to do the job of that sin, and it's just really good. And I love Anna. I loved her in the first one, and I really love her in the second one, and her her thing going on with Kaiden is really cute, and Kaiden seems just adorable, and so does Cope. And I mean, just all the friends are just great, and I just love this series, and I can't wait to borrow the third one. I can't remember what the title is right now, but I borrowed both of these audiobooks from the library, and so I'm waiting for the third one to come out. Or not, it's already out, but I'm waiting for, you know, me to be able to download it onto my phone because there's a waiting list. But I just really loved it, and if you like paranormal and you like, I don't know, just really good, funny characters, and then some kind of dire situations, but just really good characters. Blake reminds me a little bit of the Japanese guy in the Shattered series. I haven't read the Shattered Shattered Me series in a like a year. So I can't remember what the Japanese guy's name is at the moment, but Blake reminds me of that guy, and they're just super, like, you know, laid back and funny, and they bring out, like, jokes when it's not supposed to be a joke time, but just to kind of relieve people's tension. I just love Blake. I love him a lot. And I love the twins. And anyways, just read it. Just read it. It's a really fast read. The audiobook's only 10 hours, and the audiobook's great. And, or, you know, I'm probably going to buy the books as well because they're just so awesome. And then the other 3 things that I read was the Morning Glories, volume 1, 2, and 3. So we have 1. I don't know what the names are. I know they have names. There's like a... Does this one have a name? No. Anyways, if you go to buy these, they have a title, but I don't know what they are. So this is just Morning Glories 1, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. In Volume 1, you learn about a whole bunch of kids who are going to be going to Morning Glory Academy, which is like a prestigious college. I think it's a college. No. Maybe it's high school. This whole series is very confusing but intriguing at the same time. So I believe the kids are in college maybe, or like seniors or something like that. And they're chosen because of, you know, they feel that they're chosen because, you know, the school thinks that they have good grades or whatever. But really the school is choosing them because they have something special about them, but the kids don't know this. They don't know that they're special in some weird way. And then on the very first day, come to find out all the kids are born on May 4th. I think that's the date. And that's very strange, and nobody really cares. Like, one person looks it up and finds out that everybody is born on the same day, and she's like, but what does that mean? But everyone's so brainwashed at this school that nobody gives a shit that they're all born on the same day, and nobody is like trying to fight the system. And then the teachers are really crazy, and yeah, the teachers are bad, and the school is creepy, and the kids are all like brainwashed out, and the new kids that just arrive are trying to wreak havoc on the school and like figure it out and like try to escape or something. And then, but you find out like in 2 a little bit about who these kids are, and then in 3, this is the meat and potatoes of the plot so far. You get backstory, and you get all this information about the kids and how they have come to be special. But it's just so weird. And there's a lot of, like in book 3, there's a lot of time skipping. So you get like a chunk of past for one kid, and then it jumps to the present time. So that way you know how the kid, you know, grew up to be special, and now he's special, and this is what he's doing now. And then, but there's like interweavings of the story. Like sometimes you'll read a page that you've already read before, kind of like the Matrix. I'm like, wait, I just read that. Oh, it's kind of like a weird flashback kind of thing, but not so confusing. It's like a paranormal mystery thriller with crazy psychotic teachers that are blood hungry, but then there's like some kind of secret society, and there's a reference here to the cave story. If you guys know about the cave story from like English in high school, where the people have only seen their shadows forever, and they believe that their shadows are real, and if they were to go outside the cave and realize that there's something outside of where they've been their whole lives or whatever, they would freak out because reality is totally different. Like, that's like what the whole book is about, is that cave reference. Like, everything is like a weird reality. And I I love it, and I think there's 9 volumes, and so I can't wait to get to the other ones. If you hear noise like yelling, my kids are fighting over Smash Brothers and Wii Sports. Anyways, I just really liked this series. I think I gave them 4 stars each. I want to find out what happens. Like, I need more of these in my life. So again, Jessica, thanks. Thanks for these. Now I'm addicted, and now I want to buy them all. And, yeah. So those are all of the books that I've read in weeks 18 and weeks 19. So week 20 is this week, and so I will kind of go over my currently reading with you. So far, I haven't really made a dent in Undertow. I told you this one came out on the 5th of May. HMH sent this to me as, because I requested it to review so I could share it with you guys. And the beginning, it's not that it's not interesting, because I'm only on page, what am I on page? I'm on page 16, but there's no hook yet. I haven't reached a hook where it's going to grab me and pull me into the story. So basically, this girl has migraines a lot. Her name is Lyric. Her name's Lyric, and she gets lots of migraines, and I don't understand what the migraines have to do with anything yet. And again, like, I'm only on page 16, so hopefully she's really scared right now to go to school, and there's something crazy going on. Like, today is like a major day, and her dad's like the head of the police department or something. Anyways, I love the cover. I really want to get, you know, focused and into reading this, and so hopefully I can this week. Sorry for the screaming, my son. Anyways, so yes, I'm going to continue to read this one. I am also still reading After House, which is the ghost story about a lady who moves into a house that's like 300 years old and used to be owned by a whaler captain. Does that make sense? A captain who used to hunt and kill whales. His name's Eli. Okay, so Eli, my kids, they keep distracting me. What have I socked? Eli is the ghost captain, the whaling captain, and he still haunts this house, and the new tenant doesn't know about him yet, but he really wants to get her out. So to me, it seems like it's going to be maybe a funny ghost haunting story, or they will come together and it'll be like a heartwarming, kind of funny ghost story. I don't know yet. I'm only 27% in, I believe, but I am looking forward to continuing this book. And then the last thing that I will be reading this week, well, not the last thing, I also am going to be starting The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison, and I'll be reading this with Penelope at Penelope's Picks and Keely over at Bibliophile's Journey? Keely, why is your name so long? A Bibliophile's Journey. I think that's her channel name. Anyways, I can't wait to read this. Hopefully we get this done in a week. I'm looking forward to it. This book, when I was like trying to pick out how many pages we had to read every day, I found out that there is a list of person, place, things, and gods in here. And there is also a walkthrough? A handbook for travelers in the Elflands. So there's a little like index of names and stuff, which is great because then you won't forget, because apparently there's a lot of characters in the story, and this is one of 3, I believe. This is a series, and so I can't wait to read it. And then also I am currently listening to on audio End of Days by Susan E. This is the 3rd and final book in the Penryn trilogy. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But so far, love it. I love the first and second one, so obviously I'm going to love the third one. Crossing my fingers. That's what I always say. And then sometimes I don't love the ending of the third book. And that always makes me sad because the third book always ends up really, really good. And then that last 10% where everything's supposed to wrap up and then it doesn't happen or it's confusing. Like in Dreams of Gods and Monsters, I hated the ending of the book. Like the whole third book was genius, epic, awesomeness. And then the last 10%, I was completely confused. Anyways, I am looking forward to the books this week, and let me know down below what you are currently reading. Did you participate in the Bout of Books 13.0 and the RibSat? Because I unofficially did, and then I'm glad I didn't officially end up being in it because I didn't read very much. So we will see how far I get with the rest of these books. I'm crossing my fingers. And that's it. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Today's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everybody. And yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.